What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Book is entitled "Lessons from a Non-Custodial Father" at Amazon, Kindle, and Create Space. Link will be in the description box below as usual. PayPal link in the description box. Also, they asked me to put it up. I put it up. This video is a question: do people want you to marry their issues? I was dabbling, watching this and that and the third, and I was just in there's a lot of dysfunction and there's a lot of people with a lot of issues, and we all have issues. But it just made me think, like, people seem to be controlled by their issues and they don't control their issues, to the point that before you get to know the person, you got to get to know their issues. And people feel like you're abandoning them if you don't want to deal with their issues, because if you don't deal with their issues, you don't deal with them, because their identity is actually intertwined with their issues. And people don't realize, people aren't equipped to be committed to your issues. You have to deal with your issues before other people come around. And I think about that because there are a lot of adults who act like children. And when they have these child tantrums and these childlike stances, and you're thinking to yourself, you're too old for this. They can't see, because at some point it seems like their growth is stunted because parts of their personalities are stagnated at where their issue originated. So they may be 25 in this aspect because they got this issue at 25. So when you touch on this subject, they're an adult, but they're not 25 anymore. They may be 35, but they're stuck at 25 on this one. They may have this issue that happened when they were 12. And because they didn't get past that issue, if you get in the wheelhouse of this issue, they act like a 12-year-old. So people why can't why people can't work with people, and why people can't work together? Because a lot of times people don't want to marry your issues, like debt. Debt is something you accumulate as a young adult and through your adulthood. So when you marry a person, you marry their debt, and their debt is something that they created. Or that the amount is maybe something that they created because they didn't have a support system to help them have a lower debt when they become an adult to start out with. But the fact of the matter is, if your debt is too high, only certain people will probably be able to commit to you because of your debt. Like, they don't have what you have, and they're not willing to. And if you got $100,000 worth of debt and they got $10,000 worth of debt, you want them to marry you, but you also want them to, say, okay, we're going to put our debt together. Now we got $110,000 worth of debt. So 55 of it is yours and 55 of it is mine. And they're like, no, mine is 10, yours is 100. Don't 55 me, because I'm not adding $45,000 worth of debt on myself because you got an issue. And then it's, oh my God, you don't love me because you don't want to, put the extra $45,000 down to show me you love me, and let me, take $45,000 off of my debt to show me you love me. Oh my God. No. And I'm using debt as an example because it's the monetary part of it. But to make it an issue. But what's going on is, when people say, look, man, you got to handle it. This is an issue. You got to handle this. You got an anger problem. And what did your anger problem stem from? This. So this is why you throw a tantrum like you're this many years old when something touches this anger problem. Now, we 30. I don't need you acting like you're 14 in public or in private when this comes up. This is a problem. And that goes for grown men and grown women, right? And people are mad. Nobody understands me. Well, they can't understand you. They can't. They're not equipped to understand you because we're multifaceted individuals. So if you're 35 and years old, but this part of your personality is 12. This part of your personality is 22. This part of your personality is 30. This part of your personality is 18. This part of your personality is 7. This part of your personality is 9.5. How the hell are they going to understand that? Common sense will tell you, you need to center yourself. Because you need to be in control of your issues, because your issues controlling you is a reason why people aren't gonna can't make a marriage with you, a commitment to you, because they can't commit to your issues. And I'm not just talking about necessarily a relationship, but I think about watching sports stories or entertainment stories where people are talented individuals, but the people that they're connected to, they can't. At some point, you're like, your talent is great, but your issues are greater. We can't fix your issues. We tried to get you help with your issues, but you didn't receive the help for your issues, so your issues got in the way of your talent. And this is what happens with people. People are really married to their issues, and they want you to get married to their issues, so your issues become acceptable. And nobody wants to accept your issues, because a lot of times broken people want fixed people to accept them as broken forever. See, there is no window to say, look, man, I know I'm broken and I'm working on it. When people say they're working on it, work is a 24/7 process. So you can't put it down. If it's really a lifelong issue, you're gonna have to address this lifelong issue every day of your life. So that's a problem. And when you don't want to address it and you want somebody else to address your issue, it becomes a problem, because ultimately you might create issues in them because of your issues that you can't fix, because you can't fix your own issues. And then at the same time, you can't help them with their own issues, even if they have centered themselves, because you got issues. So it becomes a situation where resentment is imminent, because it becomes selfish, because your issues are so paramount that they trump everything else. And this is why I harken back to talking about abandonment, because people, I have abandonment issues because people keep leaving me. No, people keep leaving your issues because you don't want to deal with your issues. Because a lot of people have been in these situations where you've dealt with somebody where you start to realize that you're putting more effort into fixing their issues than they're putting into. And it's like, wait, God helps people who help themselves. You're not even trying to help yourself. You told me this was an issue, but every time it's time to correct this issue, you're protecting your issue. And you can't get rid of something that you're protecting. You know what I'm saying? So obviously, this is what you want. So in essence, this is a bait and switch. You sold me something sold me goods that weren't really real. And then it's like, well, a lot of people think they're baiting people in with their issues now. If I'll be a great person once I get past this issue, and the truth be told, you love your issue. You are in love with your issue. You are married to your issue. And you're not divorcing your issue. You are committed to that issue, So, but you didn't tell a person that you wanted to help you fix your issue so they can get the best of you. You didn't tell them that. They figured that out along the way. And that becomes a major, major problem. Because now what's going on is, as you get older and I guess life gets more intense as far as you realize time is ticking. You don't have the time to be playing with people who playing about issues that they not want to address. Because if you can afford therapy and you don't get it, then that's telling. If there's something that you can work on, that you can put your own effort into, and you don't put the effort into it, that's telling. If you say your issues are because of the people who surround you, and you never get and you stay around the people who create your issues, that's telling. Because that's the problem, right? If you say you have a drinking issue, but somebody catch you at the liquor store every week, or every time you go to the grocery store you buying beer and wine and food, and it's like, well, you had to go there to get the issue. It's like having a drug issue. If you help me through this drug issue, I'll be a better person. Well, here's the problem. At 11:30 at night, when you was on your phone looking for the dope man, and then you had to make a quick run and you went to go buy, that ain't, no. That wasn't your issue. That was you. You made that choice. That was you. Because we all have vices, and part of having a vice is to know that you're gonna have to put in the work to control your vice. If you're addicted to, because a lot of people aren't addicted to their issues, they're addicted to their vice. You get what I'm saying? So some people have an issue that they can't get over, and some people have a vice that they're in love with. So when you're in love with your vice, everything else is a sham, because you like that. Like people who are hypersexual, sex is their vice. The amount of destruction they might have caused lying about their hypersexuality or their need for sex is they don't care. Like, I've known people, you giving people STDs because you didn't care, because you wanted sex so bad. I got the sex over here, I got the sex over there, I got the sex over there, and then you brought back something to somebody. Oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't even do that. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Because all you cared about was your vice. Your vice made you happy. And then when your vice caught up with you, now you want to, oh my God. This is why people don't like necessarily religious people who are like consummate backsliders. Because God ain't got, after a while, God ain't got nothing to do with it. Oh God, help me, God. No, God can't help you, because you like your vice more than you like God. When you gonna deal with that part? It's all in God's hands. No, it's not. It's in your hands. But you want people to marry your issues. You want people to marry your vice. Because if they can marry your issues and your vice, it excuses you, of the responsibility of actually having to handle your issue and your vice. And it's okay because they accepted it. So while you fucking yourself over, they've committed to you fucking them over too. Thus, the problem. I know. I'm tripping. I know I'm tripping. We out.